we're going to get started. So we're going to start standing, and we're going to warm up in a little flow. Normally I do quite a lot of warming in the standing position, but we're going to get down straight on down to the mat. So we're going to start, but we're going to start with our alignment. Alignment is key through all of the postures. So we start with our feet together, and we tighten the thighs, squeeze and pull the glutes up, tighten and pull that pelvic floor up. So imagine you're lifting and trying to suck everything up away from the ground and at gravity. Pull it down, exhale, release. And we're going to pull back up and gently come back down. A couple of times, tighten and release. Tighten and release. That's it. Couple more. Squeeze up and down. Okay, we're going to turn those toes out as though they're 10 to 2 on a clock. We're going to lift the heels and we're going to drop those heels down. Slightly soft into the knees, so not locking those knees out or bending them too much. And then we're going to tuck that tailbone down. Let's do that a few times. So we're going to rotate the pelvis. Tuck and release. Tuck and release. Take the hands on the front and feel as it rotates. It's not a thrusting sort of movement. It's slow and it's moving forwards and back. And what you're doing as soon as your tailbone is down, tightening the lower abdominals. So if you do other exercises, now generally we should be thinking about bringing that tailbone down, saves any back problems and putting too much pressure onto our spine. Then from here we're going to come up towards the ribs. Again, we're going to slightly push the ribs forward and feel that does the centre of your back. It's arching that back. So we want to tuck the ribs down towards the hips, tighten the core, squeeze and release. Couple more. Down and release. Last one. Okay, let's stay with those ribs down towards the hips. Pull that core in. Take the hand onto the core and tighten. If you can see yourself on the picture, then just see what happens. As soon as you pull that core in, you're just naturally lifting and tightening and making your posture better. So by engaging that core, we're centering and focusing our movement. So we're going to start with the core. So we're going to start by reaching those arms, and we're going to pull and we're going to switch. Pull and switch, tighten, squeeze that core. Just simple movements. As we tighten the core, we're using the core. Squeeze, and we're just moving now from the shoulders, bringing those arms in, push away. Couple more. And lower those hands back down. Keep the core engaged, not too tight that you can't move, but that's definitely there, as is the pelvic floor. Okay, so we lift the shoulders, squeeze the shoulder blades as we roll back down. Lift, push behind. Lift, push behind. Okay, these shoulders often get a bit of a lack of attention, I suppose, especially if we're sitting at the desk all day, we've been homeschooling. All of these elements can lead to our shoulders putting quite a lot of stress and pressure, and often become quite rounded at the front, putting tension onto the rest of our body. So we're going to try and strengthen. We're going to open the chest and we're going to stretch into those shoulders. So we're going to start by just lifting those arms up. Lift, and I want to see little circles. Circles, circles, circles. To the front with those circles, lower those arms back down. All the way back down. And then we're going to change direction with those circles. Keeping that core engaged. Tailbone is down. Slight squeeze into that glute. Lift. All the way. I'm going to bring those hands together. So palms together so you can clap those hands. And we're going to reach forwards. Reach, reach, pushing the arm as though we're mime artists. So push, reach, as though one arm is longer than the other. Shifting, couple more. Last one, and then we're going to turn those palms out and we're going to push those arms away, squeeze here. And we're going to stay back with those arms. We're just going to push slowly back. Squeeze, 3, 2, 1. Turn those palms back to the front, bring those arms back in. Turn back behind, squeeze, push back, keep that core engaged. Don't flare those ribs forward, keep those ribs tucked down. And breathe, don't forget to breathe. So our breath is important. First thing we do, and we breathe in through the nose in Pilates and we exhale as we push out through the mouth, emptying the lungs. A couple more, pushing his arms back. Last one. Squeeze, squeeze those shoulder blades. 3, 2, 1. Bring those hands back in together. Okay, we're going to glide the fingers on the inside of the left as though we're using a bow and arrow. And then we're going to bring the hand over that shoulder. Look over that shoulder. And if you can, and if you want to, extend the arm out behind you, keeping those hips to the front. Then float those hands back together. So if you feel that your hips are starting to move, starting to twist round slightly, don't go so far with that arm movement. Okay, other side, and you bring that hand over, reach behind, look where your hips are. If they're twisting, bring the arm in a little closer, and then float back to the front. Inhale in center, and exhale as you move. Open the chest. It's a good one for those shoulders. If you're feeling it's getting too much, lower the stretch or leave that hand there. You don't have to come all the way behind. One more on each side. Inhale here. Exhale, running the finger across the chest. And gently lower those arms. Well done. Okay, let's just give those, let's have a little hug and then reach up, cross, open a couple of times, up and down. Okay, let's stretch it out. So we're going to bring those hands back in front, cross those fingers together, and we're going to push the weight into the heels and then pushing and reaching forward with those hands. Sink the head in between the arms, trying to pull as though you're stretching and trying to separate the shoulders. Reach and then bring those hands back up as you rise. Bring those hands behind your back. This time squeeze in the shoulder blades. Squeeze, take my t-shirt, see, posture position. So squeeze the shoulder blades, tighten. And again, reach forwards, stretch head down. Come back up, squeeze. Lift that head, pulling that core in. Well done. Okay, like I said, often we use standing position to do warm up. We're going to use a little flow. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll down, start with a roll down. To do that, we stand nice and tall and we're going to lift those arms. Take that deep inhale, exhale, drop that chin, pulling that core in, rounding the spine. The aim is to create this curve in the spine, trying to get the head down onto the mat. Let those arms become floppy. So even if, to start with, you start just letting the hands come in front of the knees, that's fine. Inhale, rise back up. Lift, and then we're going to squeeze those shoulders and then lift that head on top of the neck. Okay, so that's where it's going to be. Let's go again. Inhale. Exhale. Empty the lungs, push the air out. Peel all the way down. Those arms become floppy. Everything down towards the ground. Soften into those knees. Inhale, rise back up. Use the core. Let the core lift you into standing. Working with the muscles in the spine as you lift all the way back up. One more. Inhale, exhale, roll down. Okay, we're going to stay down for a second. Pause here. Let the spine just relax into this posture. And you've got some options. You can hold on to the elbows just to sink yourself a little closer towards the ground. Hold that stretch. Fine if you don't want to do that. And then we can bring us twist slightly to the right, through to center, slightly to the left, back through to center. Okay, and from here, we're going to walk the hands forwards. And we're going to go for 3, walking those hands forward. If you need to drop those knees, then do it here and pause. If not, I want you to stay up into that plank. A plank position has to be a good position. So posture, hands underneath the shoulders, tailbone tucked down, squeeze and pull that core in. If your knees are down, do the same. Pulling that core up. Make sure that you're focused on engaging that core. Okay, and from here, we're going to lift and we're going to walk those hands back slightly towards into that downward dog, lowering the head in between the arms, pushing the heels down onto the ground. Okay, and then we're going to lower the knees all the way down. You can hover or rest in between and push back. Down, lift back up, push back into that downward dog. Down, lift back up. 3 more. 2. Last one. Push those heels back. Walk the hands back towards the knees. Gently peel yourself all the way back up. All the way back up through to standing. Okay, get ready. We're going to go again. Inhale. Exhale. Peel back down. Roll down towards the ground. Walk those hands forwards. The aim is to get to this full plank, but don't worry, drop those knees if you need to. And we're going to pause wherever we are, pulling that core away. Pause, and then walk those hands back. Lift, peel all the way back up. Okay, from here, we're going to add a little in standing. So we're going to lift those arms, lift those heels up, push back down, lift and down. So lifting those heels, pushing those arms back, lift and down. Is that core engaged? That tailbone down. 2 more. Last one. Sink those heels, lift those arms, exhale, peel back down. Walking those hands forward in 3, 2, 1, into that plank or into lowering those knees. Okay, from here, if you're in that plank, I want you to stay. I want you to lift that left leg. Lift up, lower down. If your knees are down, extend just that left leg and lift that leg here and down. We're just going to do 2. And then we're going to switch sides. Lift and down, lift and down. And then we're going to walk these hands back towards the toes. Lift all the way back up. Lift and roll those shoulders. Okay, we're going to go up on those heels again. Lift and down, up and down. Lift. 4, 3, 2, last one. Lift those arms, inhale, exhale, peel all the way back down. Walk those hands forwards. Okay, choose your option. If your knees are down, we're going to extend that left leg. I'm going to lift into that pro leg pull. This time we're going to shift the weight forward onto the toes. If the knee is down, do the same, shifting the weight. Come back, lower it down. Lift up, shift forwards, back and down. And we'll switch sides. Lift, push forwards and down. Lift, push forwards and down. Okay, from here we're going to add that downward dog. So pushing the heels, move those hands back a little bit if you need to. Push those heels back, lower the knees, push back up. You can sink those knees all the way back down. Or just hover. 3, 2, last one. Walk those hands back towards the toes. Peel all the way back up through to that standing. Lift and roll those shoulders back. Ready? Lift those arms, lift those heels. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Lift those arms, inhale, exhale, peel back down. Arms come in contact, walk those hands forwards. Okay, we're going to add, so from here we're going to lower. So again, on those knees, the same thing applies. We're going to lower the elbows, forearms down, and we're going to pause. If those knees are there, same thing, pulling that core up. Pause here, core away, head face down towards the ground, gaze is down, so we're not pushing up. For, a few more seconds. And then from here, we're going to extend those arms back up. And again, if you're onto those knees, stay there, but extend that left leg in that full plank, lifting that knee. Lift, reach, push forwards, down. Lift, reach forwards, push down. Ready, switch sides. Lift, reach forwards, and down. 2, and down. Walk those hands a little further closer towards the feet. Into that downward dog. Pushing those heels back. Sink those knees down. Push back. Down. Push back. 2 more. Last one. And walk those hands back towards the toes. Inhale. Just rise back up through to standing. Lift those arms as you lift those hips. Push. 4, 3, 2, last one. We've got one more exercise. Lift those arms. Inhale, peel all the way back down. Walk those hands forwards. Lower those knees when you need to. Back to that full plank. We're going to start into our low plank. So we'll lower those forearms back down. Nice and strong. Lower those knees if you need to. And from here, we're going to twist round, dropping the hip to the side. So on the knees, it's the same. So you can lift those toes off, makes it a little bit easier to move. Last one. Pause into that low plank. Come all the way back up. Prone leg pull as we lift, or keep that leg down. Reach forwards. Lift. Forwards, down. 1 more, 2 more on this side, and down. Last one, and down. Walk those hands a little closer, pushing the heels in, sink the head in between the arms, lower the knee, push back, feel that stretch into the back of the leg. 3, 2, last one. Walk those hands back, all the way back up. Lift. Well done. You should be feeling warmer. So lift those arms all the way back up. Inhale, and this time we're going to come all the way down towards the ground. Hands and fingers in contact with the mat if you can. If you're not quite there, keep a softness into the knees. Bend and then try and extend those legs. Encouraging flexibility into the back of the legs. 2 more. Last one, and hold. Pause and feel that stretch. Okay, and gently walk those hands forwards, lowering those knees, untuck the toes. And we've got our first child's pose, so we're pushing into the heels. Sit down as low as you can, comfortably, reaching those arms forward, hands down, and then sink the head in between the arms. And just stay down, catch your breath, and just let the spine, the body just relax into this posture. Okay, just bring yourself up into our 4-point kneeling. So again, posture is key. So we're going to stay into here for a bit. So we're going to take the knees underneath the hips, Hands come underneath the shoulders. From here, we're going to lift the leg up behind us. So pushing that sole of the foot up towards the ceiling. Point the toe, and then we're going to bring that knee forwards, rounding the spine. Push back up, round. Pull that core in, push back up, and round. 4, squeeze as you go up. 3, 2, last one, stay up there. Keep that spine into neutral, not extending the spine. I want you to squeeze and just look at it all. Push that heel, push that foot up towards the ceiling. Glute work there. 3, 2, 1, lower that knee back down. Okay, from here, we're going to lift this leg out to the side. It's not most attractive. So lift out, lower down. Lift and down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay out. We're going to point that toe out there. Bring that heel in. You can bring it, it doesn't have to be quite as far out. So even if you just lift it out slightly, the point is to tap out to the side and using our abductors there. As we extend, bring it in. 3, 2, last one, lower that knee back down. Okay, we're going to add the arm. So this opposite arm reaches out to the side. So if I'm standing, it's there and in. Reach out and in. So we're going to add, you need to really engage the core here, so make sure we're not wobbling around. If you feel that you are, then lower that knee down. So from here, we're going to extend, bring it back in. Extend, bring it back in. 4, 3, 2, last one, stay out, and then lower that toe down towards the side. Okay, so keep that foot out towards the side, and gently lower that hand all the way. We're going to keep this leg out here. We're going to stretch back, sit down onto that heel. Again, sink yourself as low as you feel comfortable. Stretching onto the inner thigh adductors. You can use a cushion to sit on if you're finding it too hard to sit all the way back, or bring that leg in a bit closer, or even bending. So we're just trying to stretch into the inside there. Okay, come back up. So we're going to lift the heel off here, lower it back down. So lift and down, and you can lift that arm out as well. We can make it a little bit harder, or quite a lot harder actually, as we lift that leg and down. So choose your option. So whether that's just lifting that heel and down, or lift that leg. 3, 2, last one. Keep that hand down from here, and we're going to slide the foot back behind you. Slide it back out. The option to slide, or you can lift and tap. It's up to you. Lift and tap. Sliding it makes it easier, depending on what you're working from. 4, 3, 2, last one. Keep that leg all the way out. Stretch that arm out to the side. This time, we're going to thread this arm through, threading the needle underneath this arm. Feel that stretch into the shoulders, twisting the spine. Really uncomfortable on this haircut. Twisting the spine. Well done. Bring yourself back. Keep that leg out to the side. And we will get onto the other side, but we're going to paddle those hands up towards the knees. Bring yourself up. And you're into a beautiful posture into your side kneeling. Okay, so from here, we're going to use the core as we lift those arms up. Take a deep inhale, and we're going to lower ourselves down towards the mat. Come back up. Inhale. Come back down. Inhale. Exhale as you come down. if you're finding it too much, as we get down, you can lower all the way down onto the hip. I'll show you in a second. Last one. This time we're going to lower this hand all the way down. Look down the body, make sure you're in line, so you're not pushing the leg forward or pushing those hips forward, okay? So it should be one line. If from here you find it too much, you can sink the hips all the way down onto the ground, because we're going to lift this leg up, tap down. You can lift that arm, makes it a little bit harder. Lift and down, up and down. 4, 3, 2, last one, stay up. Then bring that heel in, point that toe away. In and away, in and away. 4, 3, 2, last one. We're going to combine the two. We go down, lift up, bring it in, push away. Down, lift up, bring it in, push away. 4, 3, 2, last one. Lengthen that leg, that little squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Bring those knees and then sink both hips down all the way onto the ground. Okay, stacking those hips, which means not twisting round, so keeping the hips on top of each other. We're going to lift those hips up. We're going to reach over, create this little circle with that arm at the front, and then sink back down. Hover, lift up, come back down. Okay, we've got an option to make it harder. So we can lift this leg, use that leg as a little bit of extra weight. You can extend that leg, makes it harder, working into the hip, on the outer hip at the same time. 2 more. Last one. And bring those knees all the way back together and sit yourself up to stretch it out into that mermaid pose. So the lower leg goes in front, sole of the foot onto that thigh. We're going to reach up and we're going to stretch away from the mat that we were just leaning on. Lower down and feel that stretch underneath, all the way down here. Lift up and we're going to turn to face the mat. Sink down towards the mat. Push back up, reach up, float over. Reach up, sink back down. 2 more. Last one. And this time I want you to stay down, facing down towards the mat. We're going to lift this back leg up. Lift and lower. Lift and down. 4, 3, 2, last one. Extend that leg. Bring yourself up. Push back and then sink those knees all the way back down into that child's pose. Sink down. Rest, push back down. And come back up as we work into the other side. Okay, so we started with this leg bent. We pushed this leg up. We brought the knee forward towards the nose, pushed back up, brought it back in as we pointed the toe, push back up, back and up, squeezing the glute, pushing up. It's with control. We're thinking about pulling that core in, not extending the spine. We can round the spine, but we're not extending here. Last one. And then we stayed up, sole of the foot up towards the ceiling, and we squeezed, squeezed, squeezed. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we brought that knee back down. From here, we lifted the knee out to the side, brought that knee back down. Lift and out. Up and down. 3, 2, last one, and we kicked that leg away and then brought that heel back in. Again, doesn't matter how far, the angle stays the same. If you bring that leg a little closer, make it easier. 4, 3, 2, last one, and we combine. So we kicked that leg away, then pushed that toe, and then brought that knee back in. Out, away, in, and low. Out, away, in, and low. 4, 3, 2, last one, and we stayed out with that leg. Then we added this arm as we lengthened out to the side, tap down, lengthened and down, reached out and in. 4, 3, 2, last one. Sink those hands back down, sink yourself down towards the ground. So even if that's halfway, and you can use that cushion, a cushion, to sit yourself onto, just to give yourself a bit more support if you need it. Stretch down, sinking that head. Let the body relax into the stretch. Okay, and keep that leg out to the side. From here, we slided that leg back in behind and then slide it back out to the side. We'll lift and tap. Lift and tap. 4, 3, again, doesn't matter how far out you'll go with that leg. Just moving it out to the side, using a different part of the core to control. Last one, and we're going to stay out with that leg. From here, we lift that arm out, lift that heel up, lower down, or lift that leg, lower down. So lift, 2 more, last one, and then we threaded that needle, came all the way underneath, twisting round, and held that stretch. So sit yourself as low as you feel comfortable. Well done. Just bring that arm back, keeping that leg out to the side. We walked the hands back up towards the body. I'll tend to face you. Well done, everyone. Lift those arms up. Inhale, and we're going to come down to the side. Exhale here. Inhale, make sure you're in line. Exhale, come down. Inhale, come up. Exhale. Couple more. Last one, and we're going to bring that arm all the way down. Okay, hand can come onto the hip. You can sink this leg all the way down here because we're going to lift this leg up. So as long as you keep that alignment, doesn't matter if your hip is down, all the way down. So you decide, you choose. We're going to lift that leg, lower it down. Lift and down. Arm can reach up, makes it a bit harder. 4, 3, 2, last one, stay up, bring that heel in towards the glute, point that toe to go away, in and away, in, 2 more, last one, lower that leg, lift up and combine. So we're down, up, heel in, down, lift, heel in, 4 more, and in, 3, and in, 2, last one, and lengthen, last little squeeze, 3, 2, 1, bring those legs together, sink that hip, this side down onto the mat. Make sure you're in line, okay? So make sure we're not twisted round, hips stacked on top of each other. From here, we're going to lift that hip up. We're going to reach over. We'll create this kind of banana shape with this side, and then circle the arm round. Come back up. Well done. Lift up and down. Again, we can make it harder by lifting this leg up, giving a little bit of weight, or extend, make it harder, using the hip at the same time. 3, 2, last one. Bring those knees together and gently bring yourself down onto the side, and we'll sit nice and tall into that mermaid posture. So the lower leg is bent at the front, sole of the foot onto the thigh, this leg behind. Nice and tall. Reach away from the mat. Lift those arms, and we're going to come down. Reach away and down. Reach away, feel that stretch down inside here. And this time we're going to stay down towards the ground. We're going to lift this back leg up. Lift, lift. 3, 2, 1. Gently bring yourself all the way back up. These legs, we're going to bring them out and reach them out in front of us. Although I'm going to turn to face you. So lengthen those legs. Point the toes up towards the ceiling. As you do, you're tightening the quads. Bring that back up nice and straight. We're going to lift those arms. Imagine we've got this big beach ball in front of us. We're going to reach over that beach ball, down towards the knees. Inhale, come back up. So reach up, exhale, come back down. Inhale, who's that on the screen? Hi, it's Evelyn. Hi, Evelyn. Rocco is asleep. Sorry, we're just trying. 2 more. Last one. And stay down. I'm only saying that because he's not normally asleep at this time. He'll be gutted to know that you've been on here, Evelyn. He will have missed seeing you. Head down towards the knees. And bring yourself all the way back up. We're going to bend the knees. And we have been working in the core already. We're going to do some more core. But this time, we're going to do it into our C-shaped spine. So, right, so our C-shaped spine, as you can imagine, is the shape of a C. I'm glad I didn't do it phonetically. So we're going to imagine someone's pulling a piece of string down here, pushing into the core, rounding that spine. So we're going to start by holding onto the back of the legs, nice and tall. Sit back. For those that come regularly and know what to do, release those hands and lower yourself down as low as you feel comfortable. As soon as those feet start to lift, you start to wiggle, come up a little bit. Bring yourself up in reverse. So come up and sit nice and tall. Inhale at the top. Exhale, that piece of string, someone's pulling you down. Down towards the ground. Pulling that core in. Sit all the way back up. Inhale. Sit back down. Sit back up. Couple more. Down, round that spine. Sit down as low as you can. Come back up. Inhale. This time, the right arm is going to skim down the side of the ribs as we come down. So if you need to watch first, into that C shape, and then that hand comes over. We're going to look over that shoulder and twist, come round to the other side. Back into center and twist. Back to center. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhale. Control with that core. If it's getting too much and you feel it's affecting your spine, then sit yourself up a little bit higher. Don't put pressure on the spine. We want to be using the core here. 2 more. Last one. And sit yourself up. Lengthen the legs. Reach those arms. Let's give some love back to the spine. So stretch down towards the knees. Inhale. Sit back up. Lift those arms. Exhale. Head down towards the knees. Inhale. Lift those arms. Exhale. Sit back up. And if you need to bend the knees to lower yourself down, then do. If not, we're going to peel ourselves back down onto the ground. So if those knees are bent, bring those elbows down, whichever way you need to. Lengthen those arms. Lengthen those arms above the head. We're going to bring the legs into that tabletop. Bringing those legs into tabletop, you'll feel the spine pushing down onto the ground. That's where we want the spine to be, imprinted onto the mat. We're going to lift those arms and we're going to reach those arms back. Lift up, push back, lift up, push back. And we're going to add to this. So from here, as we push back, then we're going to open those arms out to the side, bring them back into together. So down, creating these semicircles and lift. So in the center, we're going to lift our chest, and as we lower those arms, we're going to sink that head down, then open those arms out. Reach up, sink back down. Reach up, sink back down. Okay, we're going to add. So if this isn't enough for you, then stay here. We're going to add, so come back into the center. As we come back, we're going to lower that right toe down. As we come back up, we're going to bring it back up. Lower the left, bring it back up. Lower the right, bring it back up. Down and in. Exhale and lift. Down and in. 4 and up. 3. Are you breathing? Is that spine imprinted? Keep it down. 2 more. Last one. Hug those knees in for a little break. I'm going to add 1 more layer. So I want you to stay at that layer if that's enough for you tonight. If not, what we're going to do is as we lower those arms, we're going to tap both down, circle and lift. Tap and lift. Lower is that spine imprinted. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. 4 more. Inhale. 3, 2, last one, and bring those knees in towards the chest. Well done. Just rock yourself side to side. I'm going to gently extend those toes, point them up towards the ceiling. Bring those hands out to the side. Everyone can do this. Squeeze the thighs together, release. Squeeze and release. Squeeze, release. Okay, we're going to flatten the foot and we're going to push the heels down about 20 centimeters. Keep that spine imprinted. Point the toes, flex the foot. Point and flex. 4, 3, 2, last one. Lower those heels another 20 centimeters. As soon as you feel that spine lifted, don't go any further. We're protecting the spine. We're using that core, strengthening that. 3, 2, 1. Push the heels down, another 20. Point the toes, flex the foot. Again, don't go any further. Stay at whichever level you feel most comfortable. 2 more. Last one. Push those heels 1 more time. Point, point, point. Last one. Come all the way up. Push all the way down. Lift, push down. Lift, push down. Use that core. Stabilize everything else. 4, 3, 2. Last one. Stay all the way as far down as you've got to. Point those toes. And 4, 3, 2. Last one, all the way up. Hug those knees. And just circle those knees. Massage the spine. Lowering those feet down onto the ground. We're going to sink the knees over to one side. Reach those arms up above the shoulders, fingers above the, straight above, pointing towards the ceiling. Then we're going to lower those arms out to the side. And we're going to lift arms back into center. Drop the knees first, keep those shoulders down, and then reach those arms over. Up. And hug that right knee into the chest. Lengthen that left leg down towards the ground. Gently drawing it over to the side. And then across the body. Switch sides. Lengthen that leg. Bring it out to the side. Bring it across the body. And lengthen those legs. Deep inhale, exhale, and sink those arms down by your side. Take a couple of minutes just to relax. So if you need to put your layers on, what you do. Just a couple of minutes just to concentrate on breathing, releasing all the tension. So lying down onto the ground. We're going to focus to start with on our breath. So close the eyes. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. We're going to use this breath to release the tension. So we start tightening the toes, the feet. Squeeze the feet, and then we'll exhale, release and relax. Bring the heel to the back of the leg. Exhale, release. Squeeze the quads, squeeze the glutes. Exhale, release. Pull that core down towards the spine. Breathe in and relax. Tighten the fingers one at a time. Clench the fists, wrists, and the biceps. And relax. Pull the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, release. Cut towards the neck, tighten the jawline. Then close the eyes tight shut. Press the lips, squeeze the face as tight as you can. Next, exhale. Let everything feel lighter and relaxed. And take this relaxed moment out from the class as you bend the knees. Sink yourself over to one side. Gently push yourself away from the ground. Bring yourself onto your knees. Then from there onto the toes. Push the ground away from you. Extend the legs. Inhale, rise back up. Through to standing. Standing nice and tall. Lift those arms. Inhale, exhale as we come back down. Couple more. Last one. And we'll finish there this evening.